Hi YouTube, this is a wonderful ROM hack called Fly Me to the Stars. This was made by an amazing, talented author named Carl Sagan. The tool-assisted speedrun was made by Fawful, who's here in chat. Fawful is going to be able to provide you text commentary in the chat view you see there on the left. Let's get this kicked off. We're going to run this. I'm going to type restart. That's going to pull a reset pen on the bottom of the Super Nintendo low. That allows us to move the to basically start the console at a very specific time. Now I can do it by hand, it's just a whole lot easier to do it with that. The stars, the sky calls to us. Oh, you know what? I just totally blew that. I'm not even gonna try. I was gonna try to sound ethereal, but then I started reading too late and it just didn't work well. Now everyone agrees that this starting segment is nuts. Don't take damage there, and it makes a weird sound. Listen to it. It makes the water sound, which is crazy. So there is wide agreement that this particular section benefits from a little more reverb. So we're going to give it a little more reverb. Maybe too much reverb. So this is by Carl Sagan 42, or 80, no, I'm sorry, is it 40? It's 42, yeah, Carl Sagan 42, right? That is how he goes by it. Like, I know the guy. Why do I always mess up his name? So this is really fun watching in real time. Watching a human run this is pretty incredible, but this tool-assisted speedrun made by Fawful really pushes this game to the very edges. Now, this is run on the 1.0 version, and newer versions have a different orb setup. Yeah, Cube Solver. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more TASBot videos. Thank you for being the movie guy there. Laurel Sagan? Laurel, huh? I mean, I can go full on movie guy if you want me to. So, for some context, I am at the very end of a very long day and not doing a good job whatsoever of commentary on this, which inevitably YouTube picks up on every single time. So I'm going to do the very best I can to try to pay attention to what Fawful's saying. So what Fawful is pointing out here is that 1.0 does have the most breaks, the most things that can be abused. So that's why it's being preferred over newer versions. There are some things here that are obviously not possible. Now the timeout here, that was deliberate because it saves time over other options. That allows him to get up and out, which is pretty cool. It doesn't have a block to set the timer, so you have to take a death in this level. Yeah. That wasn't a typo. Laurel? Does he really go by Laurel? Nah. Now's a good time for donations. 1-2pic, 1-2PC. This, unfortunately, is not a charity stream, although revenue I get from bits and subs, I always give 10% of it away to the next event, whether that's a GDQ event. I might even be doing RPG Limit Break this year. So anything I get through Twitch subs, bits, people doing marquees across my screen, any revenue I happen to get through YouTube, all of that, I always give 10% of that to charity. And I really do appreciate the support that everyone has provided me. Going to GDQ events has put me about 12K in the hole over the years because I've been to about 9 of them. If you go to GDQ VODs, one of the funny things is I now have over 33 runs, I think, listed under my name, but that's not fair because it's not just me. This all takes a huge team of people. It's just I happen to be traveling all the way across the country with TASBot, and TASBot is a diva that requires lots of equipment, like these wonderful visualization boards you see down here in the lower left corner. So this is TASBot's visualization. There's nothing happening here. Oh, by the way, thank you for that cheer of 100 bits. You can see that's causing a redraw on the left-hand side. Try to pay attention to everything all at once. There's just too much going on, as usual. That redraw is drawing extraordinarily slowly because of all of the stuff it is trying to draw. Okay. So that section was causing us desyncs earlier. We had to do quite a lot of work to get it to work. So Fawful says you have to make the CP in this level pretty optimized because you approach the timer block from the wrong direction and lose about 2 in-game seconds. Wow, really? Hey Amadeus, welcome to the stream. We're right in the middle of recording for YouTube. And yes, this is a sweet 3-day redraw. Which is also why it's drawing so terribly badly. So there are some strats here that are extraordinarily similar to the human runs, and other things that are just not possible at all. Illy, there is some truth to that. Illy is saying that TASBot prep for GDQ is like a weekend at Bernie's with... Yeah, there was something about that. Yeah, the Mass3212 is right. They're the founder... well, let's see. There's a couple of other people on GDQ VODs that have exactly the same number of runs. I just can't believe how many it is. It's just nuts. The human run has Yoshi for the entirety of its 4th level that just passed. Yeah, you don't even bother. Okay, so this section, I want to point out the extremes that this poor game engine can go. Now, as always, TASBot is playing on a real honest-to-goodness Super Nintendo. The video signal that you're seeing that looks reasonably good is because of the really nice console I have. I have a pretty ugly looking on the outside but good hardware inside Super Nintendo, and then I have a OSSC going through a dwangoAC scan HD Plus going into a major capture device. When I say that I've spent a lot of money on equipment, it's all that crazy stuff, and then I've got a PVM so I can be able to see what's going on. So all that equipment starts to really add up after a while. Just to kind of show you what I mean. So here's my PVM, and then I've got an SD to SNES, which is what I'm running this on. I, as always have a real copy of these Super Mario World, so I always keep originals. My OSSC over here, and then down here I have my dwangoAC scan HD Plus. That's what cleans up the signal enough for my Mage World to be able to capture it. Because the Super Nintendo has some very funny characteristics. So all this equipment does take a lot of money. All right, let's talk about this run, shall we? This is what happens when someone goes mad with lunar magic. You're not wrong about that. Also, I have a cat stream. This is kitty number 1, and if I hide chat for just a second, this is kitty number 2. Really, really dark, but there's a cat on that couch. Luma. Hi, Luma. So this is the homey type of atmosphere you'll see in my streams. There's, oh, I don't know, somewhere between 100 and 200 people here a lot of times, but we still have a lot of fun. There's just no way for me to commentate everything that's going on. I mean, Fawful, it's almost like we have to have you on voice chat to be able to do commentary correctly. But it's too late. Hey, thank you so much for that cheer, Black Magics. Nicely done. Yeah, Benjamin, I'm not even going to say that on my stream because that was borderline. Yeah, it does take quite a lot of hardware. To make it look good, it takes quite a bit. So I love this level for the VVV nature of it, and then those trolley hearts that don't actually kill you. So I believe that was coming in on the end of this. I'm going to be swapping out for a controller here, because I don't think it goes any further. Okay, so I'm going to manually insert a controller, and I'm going to manually start the credits. There we go. So these are the end credits sequence. I would like to thank FuryfulFawful for making the tool-assisted speedrun of this. Of course, Carl Sagan. There's a lot of things to be said about this hack. You can see that this was inspired by a huge number of amazing people. I can't even read them off on the screen fast enough. We've got... Oh, ASM Daddy. There's a lot to be said about that. There are so many people that have been instrumental in the Super Mario World scene. It's kind of hard to get through everybody. That redraw on the left is amazing.